These times can feel heavy, like the world forgot how to hold us. But in the red rocks of Sedona, something is growing, a place to be exactly who you are, to dance, to heal, to be held. We're not waiting for a better world. We're building it. Together. This is Humankind. Come home.
Hey everyone, this is Aurora Luna Star. I'm coming to you live from Mount Shasta, California, and I'm so excited to be with you today. Today you just get me, so I hope that's enough. We're going to talk about sound today and using your voice and what it means to use your voice in an authentic way. I'm actually giving a retreat here in Mount Shasta in September, the 20th, 21st, and 22nd, and it's called Sacred Voice, Sacred Sound for a reason. I feel like on the journey, something that we all navigate is what it means to be able to speak our truth and then speak our truth from a loving place, right? So what happens in the beginning of the journey, in my awareness, is that you finally understand that you have a voice and your voice is for a sacred purpose, a reason, right? So my awareness also is in that other dimensional spaces. Really, we use telepathy. So when we raise in vibration, and let's say we're fifth dimensional beings or beyond, we no longer need the voice. The voice is used for music, but not really for communication. And even scientists would say that about, I feel like 80% of our body language is the communication, and not everything that we say is the truth, right? And the matrix is kind of what has created that environment for us. We are not meant to feel, we're meant to stay in our mental field. And if we're in our mental field, we're navigating a lot of anxiety, especially because we're part of collective consciousness, which means we're 8 billion people on the planet. And we're navigating a lot of fear, right? If you're feeling into what's happening in the world right now, or in your country, or even in your household, a lot of times what you're navigating is this undercurrent of fear, of lack. A lot of times that lack can be that you don't feel good about yourself, about how you look, about how you feel when you're connecting with other people in a work environment or in your family environment. You know, a lot of star seeds, which is what I consider a lot of us on the spiritual journey to be, will feel like the black sheep of the family, that they don't fit in anywhere, that they find it hard to fit in lots of settings, or you're the people pleaser, right? So you're the person who's going to come out and be inauthentic to you so that you can feel like you get love or acceptance or accolades from the people around you, right? So our voice and how we use it, our language and how we use it, becomes a really important part of our growth, our expansion, and living our life. I've watched a lot of interviews with the elder community, people who are in the twilight of their lives. And almost all of them say the same thing. They wish that they would have lived life out loud. They wish they would have cared a lot less about what other people think, right? In the spiritual community, you'll hear a lot the phrase, something to the effect of, you know, to not care about the opinions of sheep. That to me is a little bit crunchy of a sentence. So it's more about what people feel about you is none of your business, right? That's a tough one for a lot of us to take in because we're constantly seeking validation from outside. The spiritual journey is really inward. What that means is you start getting to know yourself, what's important to you, discerning what you like and what you don't like. And discernment means you don't really have to judge what you don't like. You don't have to put it down. You just start to find the space where this may not be for you. And so you come back to center, or this may be for you. And so you spend some time there and you gain information, and then you come back to center. You integrate what you learn. So the spiritual journey just has all these moving parts. It has its own language, right? I'm even using some words that may or may not be familiar to you, though I think to most of this audience, the answer would be yes. You know, star seed, what is a star seed? It's just understanding or remembering or understanding that our human journey is not really a single laser pointed light that leads you in a direction. It's a puzzle. It's a maze where you may end up hitting a brick wall and having to circle back around and come out, right? It's a curiosity. I like that word. I like being curious about life and staying in the space of, is this for me? Is this not for me? What's happening here? What is the worst case scenario if I participate? I like to ask myself that question, not from a place of fear, but again, discernment. Is this for me? Is this not for me? A lot of times I'm in a space in my life where I'm headed towards something and I get rerouted, right? We all know that word, rerouting. Sometimes those reroutes are really important because we're headed towards something that might not really be for us. And it could be detrimental, though there's always a lesson to learn no matter what we're experiencing. When we come back to the voice, right, we know already what people pleasing means. We know already what it means to be, let's say, angry and projecting that anger. And that happens a lot. We're meant to have these gamut of feelings, and we have them, right? All of them, all the high vibrational feelings and all the stuff that's really uncomfortable. Like in spirituality, it's almost like a bad word to say that you get angry when, of course, anger is an important emotion because it's a catalyst. It's what you do with the anger. Are you giving that anger to someone because you're blaming and shaming them? Or are you owning and taking responsibility for what you feel? And then trying to use your tools or figure out ways to navigate your anger so you could figure out what's next. Anger is so important, right? Again, it's this beautiful alchemizing energy that allows you to know, something is not feeling good for me. I'm participating in something that doesn't feel aligned. I'm underappreciated. I'm not getting what I deserve. I'm not feeling seen or heard. Whatever these things are, it's not up to the other person. That's the big one, right? It's up to you to decide what's for you and what's not for you. So when we talk about using our sacred voice or our voice and sacred sound, there's lots of ways we can use it. Of course, speaking, communicating is the first. It's the doorway into how we participate with other people around us. And then that voice is equally important as to how we use it for ourselves. I have a friend staying in my home right now, and it's so funny because I'm being made aware of how often I'm apologizing. So I'm like, wow, people pleasing, right? Apologizing for things that aren't necessarily for me to apologize for. Love having the sacred mirror in front of me to know that that's one of my habits in this moment. The other is paying attention to how I'm speaking to myself, what I'm saying to myself, what am I saying about myself? When we talk about sound as an energy and how it heals, we also need to remember that we're mostly water, right? So the water is listening to us. And if you don't know much about water and being mostly water, I invite you to Google Dr. Emoto. He's no longer on the earth plane, though his son has taken over his work. He shows how when the word love is put under a water crystal, it looks like a beautiful snowflake, and lots of other positive words versus words like war, hatred, where the water crystals become this brown, weird looking substance. It's so clear, without question, that when we're speaking words of love, of positivity, of creation in a positive momentum, the water in our body, the water on the earth is responding. Water is alive, right? Every part of our physical bodies have intelligence. Okay. This becomes important with sound, right? How whales communicate, how dolphins communicate in the water, is that we can bring a lot of healing into our bodies using our own voice. That's why affirmations can be really powerful, especially if you can believe them. I get it. Sometimes affirmations don't work for everyone because if you have a lot of opposing beliefs in your unconscious or subconscious, then unless you're really good at faking it till you make it, mantras might not be your medicine. And when you're speaking mantras in another language or making up your own mantras in whatever language you speak, there's a lot of medicine in saying something that you believe because the water in your body is listening. And The energy that you are as a physical being, which is always kinetic, right? Your heart is beating, the veins, the arteries taking blood to and from the heart, which is constantly bringing oxygen, right? That we're breathing through our lungs to the bloodstream, to the organs. Everything is in movement at all times, right? From that kinetic energy, now we have what's been proven to be a toric field, one that runs from the crown or the top of the head down to the feet and up and around. And there's one that runs just over the heart center. So we have two torus fields, like a donut of energy, one that's always around the heart and one that's always around the body. And when we're working with the idea of kinetic energy and the tube torus, now we're even moving beyond that into an awareness of the light body, or what we'd call an energetic body of energy that we have around us. We're not physical beings alone. We're actually a soul having the human experience, and the human body and the intricacies of energy that the human body has around it is incredible when you really start to study it and understand it. Right? So we are an energy body that has an emotional field, a mental field, an etheric field, and every single aspect of this is connected to our physicality, our thoughts, our words, our feelings. And a lot of times what happens is because we've been trained to be in the mental field a lot, right? Think about our education system and how much creativity has been taken away. In fact, Sherry and I talk about that in my second podcast, Sherry Divband, how, children are not getting all the creativity that they could be fed, right? Because we're not being taught to be original thinkers. We're being asked to be cogs in a wheel. But that aside, understanding that creativity, that sound, these energies can heal, can clear, can assist with the neural pathways, what we think, how we think, because the brain is designed to repeat patterns, right? It's so that we can drive a car and not have to think about driving the car. We do it by rote. We do it by memorization. There's a lot of muscle memory that the body knows how to do. The brain loops information. The challenge comes when we're spending a lot of time in the mental field. And now what's looping is a lot of negative thinking, anxiety, fear, low vibrational thoughts about who you are and the world around you. When in truth, everything is about where we choose to focus. But all of those thoughts, words, feelings, that's creating a concerto or music that goes out into the quantum field to source of all that is, to God, whatever you'd like to call all of that energy, right? Our reality is framed, is made through all of this music that we are, that's based on our thoughts, our words, and our feelings. And this all ties in together with sound because our thoughts, our words, and our feelings create health or dis-ease in the body. That's a big one, right? So our thoughts could actually, stress could be making us a lot sick. Our voice and sound can be a remedy for that. So the first thing I want you to know is whether or not you like to sing, your voice is your own best medicine. Your voice, the timbre of your voice, the tonality of your voice is your own medicine. My whole body is lighting up as I say this out loud. It's kind of fun. Ooh, big energy moving, right? So when we talk about how to use the voice, there's something called toning, and toning can sound awesome. It can sound pretty, right? I'm not going to put this on original sound, even though I'm on the podcast, but it's just like picking a tone and singing it, right? Ooh, that's it. It's as simple as that. And that tone can be something that your body needs right now. And you can feel into it. You can do a scale of music and you can sing the scale and decide on what note feels really good and where it feels really good. Oftentimes when you're doing an ah sound, it's connected to the heart. It doesn't have to be though. You can do sound anywhere and clear your entire, what we would call chakra system, but just your energy, your body, all the things you're walking with. Have you ever come home from work and you just feel exhausted and you just feel almost like you've got all of this stuff on you? Like all you want to do is take a shower and feel clean, whatever that means. Nothing will replace a shower, this much I promise. And sound can also help you move some of that energy out. That's why singing with the radio, dancing, all the things to do with sound make you feel good for the most part. Yeah, sometimes you'll throw on a sad song because you're interested in emoting and you want the validation of what it means to be going through your heartache and your grief. I get it. I'm not mad at you for it. And I'm sure you will have heard this from lots and lots of people. Emotions are meant to be in motion, right? So if that's true, you can feel the emotion, but you don't have to live there. Don't make it your address. Don't let that be the loop that your brain picks up on and starts making you believe that you're lonely and you're always going to be alone and you're never going to find your partner and all the fun things that people tell themselves when things don't work out the way they desire them to. In fact, my awareness is whenever something doesn't work out, life is actually bringing me something so much more fantastical and aligned to my energy. But that's a topic for another time. Your voice, when used for clearing energy, sorry, a lot of energy just keeps coming in as I'm speaking about this. You have an opportunity to focus on the part of your body. Maybe it's your head and you're feeling a lot of mental chatter. Maybe it's your heart because you are feeling a lot of grief. Maybe it's your lower back because you're not feeling safe in your body, or you're stressing over money, or you're constantly feeling like you're in survival and striving energy. When you're in those energies, what happens is the concerto that you're playing to the quantum field or to source or to all that is or to God, it starts to close down. Not because you're not worthy of receiving. You're always, always, always worthy of receiving healing, abundance, flow, money, like whatever it is. You're always worth it. And you may not always feel worth it. And again, that's okay. And the quantum or source can only answer you from where you're vibrating. If you don't believe that you're worthy of receiving, you're going to get stagnant with your energy, or what you keep receiving is going to be something that makes you feel like a victim over and over and over again. If one of your mantras in the morning is, I'm strong, I love my life, I love myself, I'm beautiful, I'm intelligent, I'm excited to live this day, there's so much happening for me right now. I'm so excited to see the miracles in my life coming to fruition every single day. I have everything I could possibly want, and life meets me in the most delicious places. I mean, there's so many things that you can say to yourself where that concerto is now raising your vibration, the up vibe, right? And ooh, my camera brought me really forward, so I'm gonna actually go back to where I was before. But anyway, for those of you who are listening, you're still with me. So it's just an awareness that as you're on this journey, you can talk yourself into anything, and it can be the lowest vibe thing or the highest vibe thing. And I promise you that what you're interested in arriving at is higher vibes, because when you're doing that, you're upping your timelines to have more and more amazing experiences. That's all I can tell you, right? I can't promise you that life is going to get suddenly miraculously amazing because you said some mantras one time, one day. It doesn't work that way. I want you to think of sound, your voice, healing, not just as a journey, but like going to the gym. The more you flex, the more becomes available to you. And also, what I really want you to know is what's happening in that is the truth is the more momentum you're giving it, the more you're going to see life meet you in these amazing places. And it's not about expectation. So let's say something you're calling in, you're so excited to receive it, and you have the exact idea of what you want it to look like. I'm going to ask you to stay open to what the universe wants to give you. When I channel the Ra Collective, who may come in today, I'm not sure just yet what's happening. But when I channel the Om Ra collective, they're a ninth dimensional frequency. They're not from this universe. And they use Gaia as kind of like a satellite to communicate through me, because all channels channel a little differently, right? When I bring them in, they talk about the bakery. It's my favorite analogy. Oftentimes, when we desire to create, we get stuck on the cookie because we want that cookie, and that cookie could represent literally anything. Spirit tries to make us understand or help us remember that we have access to the entire bakery. So not only can we have this one cookie that we really, really desire, we could have all the cookies. We could bake any kind of cookie we like. We can even create brand new kinds of cookies that don't even exist yet. How cool is that? But the thing is, if you're only focused on this one cookie, you're not giving the quantum or source any room to give you more than what you even thought you could have. Right? So that's what timeline jumping looks like, when all of a sudden everything we could ever desire, or things we didn't even realize we wanted or knew that we could have, suddenly start showing up in our lives. It's such a powerful unfolding. And when you're using your voice to command, to proclaim, to reclaim your personal power, your sovereignty, and again, you're not doing this to anyone else for anyone else, right? I don't need to go to my boss if I had one, which I did for 17 years. I worked in corporate America, right? I don't have to go to any one of those people and say, hey, I proclaim and I reclaim and I'm sovereign. They're going to be like, okay, Aurora, and have a nice day. When you're working with this energy, it's for you. It's you owning the energy that you are. It's you owning your life. It's you taking responsibility. It's you empowering yourself, like empowering yourself. What could be better than that? Everyone, really, right? I look at all the things I've created in my life. Some of them are ridiculous. I'm in the process of writing a book and deciding how much I'm going to share and how much any of you are really going to care about the details. But the most recent one, where I just created this cluster upon moving back into Mount Shasta, it would have been really easy for me to assign blame, and I wanted to. And I said, okay, Aurora, you co-created this. Why? What are you learning from this hot mess of a situation where you're really uncomfortable and you want to be comfortable, right? So when we start using affirmations, singing, toning, and again, toning can sound really gross. It can sound like, right? Because you might be processing something that requires you to get the energy out of you. You know, they show basketball players shaking it off, right? Sometimes when they have like a rough go. Well, right. That's also what animals do in the animal kingdom. At the end of the day, they could be escaping. They could be hunted and get caught and then escape, right? They will drop to the ground and they will shake the energy of that traumatic experience off. We don't learn what to do with trauma. It's not in our schools. It's not, you know, you have to seek it out in a yoga studio or in a meditation or in someone facilitating something about energy and how you are energy, right? How you are vibration, how you are frequency, which is the measurement of that vibration, right? And even though this show is called The Up Vibe, even as I was speaking with Jen Carmody last week, JK Ultra, it's important to remember that the up vibe only happens when we're real about where we are in our vibe. I'm not about bypassing. I'm not about pretending that everything's okay when it's not. I will admit that things are real in the moment that they are. And then I'll assess what's happening and decide how long I need to sit with what's happening. Sometimes you can't decide. Sometimes the emotions are just there, right? Grief. When my dad passed, I couldn't control that grief if I tried. Same with my brother, same with my brother-in-law. These were three very powerful, masculine, divine, masculine, amazing beings in my life. And they all left within a year of each other. Boom, boom, boom. And now the grief still rises. And I know what it is when it comes up. And I give it space and I let it flow. And then I keep going, right? Sometimes the cry is with laughter, right? Sometimes I'm remembering something positive and I just miss their physical presence. Sometimes the crying is just pure grief that I just missed hugging my dad because I can't do that anymore, right? All of that emoting, crying, wailing, right? We used to wail at funerals. We don't really do that anymore. It's considered weird, right? But yet, wailing helps you move the energy, crying so loud that your whole body is shaking. This is how we heal. And so, even in my retreat, part of the process is everyone in the retreat getting an opportunity to use their voice in community, right? I'm not asking anyone to do a solo concert for any one of us, right? Everyone will have a chance to speak, which is equally important, but you'll get to emote and use your voice in community. You'll also get to receive sound. So there's a benefit to both, right? Your voice is your own best medicine because everything that you came in with, everything that makes you physical and spiritual, everything that makes you your soul and the body that you chose to come into is part of your medicine. Everything, right? And we get to receive medicine from others too. And so as a channel, I've got about a 4-octave range of singing. And so I can sound like feminine energy and also like masculine energy. The channel is always in real time. So whatever comes in is always for the highest of who's ever in front of me. And then equally, the sound that comes through is whatever is meant for healing. So I'll also be using crystal singing bowls. I'll be using a gong, a flute, some other instruments, because each instrument offers a gift to our energy field and to our physical body. I actually had some miraculous things happen. One time, a woman came in to a sound healing that I was offering. She had chronic migraines. And at the end of the sound healing, her migraine had gone away. I wish I'd been able to follow up with her because I don't know where she is on her healing journey right now. But I hope that she was at the very least inspired to maybe get some singing bowls of her own and figure out what more of that healing looks like. And, again, when we're dealing with chronic things, even if they look hereditary or ancestral, oftentimes we're carrying them because we're the ones who get to stop the lineage of all the challenge that we've been carrying on behalf of our families. So my belief is Dr. Bruce Lipton, the biology of belief, we don't need to carry that energy anymore. The buck stops here, right? So we're just about at the half an hour of the show, and I'm getting that Aurora Collective is going to come in on our behalf. By the way, if you have any questions about the retreat, definitely feel free to reach out to me. It's going to be 3 days. We're going to be holding it in an indoor private space, and I'm really excited. We will not be going up on the mountain. I apologize for that, or maybe I don't have to apologize for that. But the mountain's going to be your free time. And there is free time to go up on the mountain. So we can talk more about that if you have interest. But anyway, I'm going to make room for the Aurora Collective to come in and see what wisdom they have to share with us today. So just give me a moment to drop in. I'm going to take some deep, gentle breaths. You're welcome to drop into the heart space with me. Greetings, dear ones. We are the Aurora Collective, and we are grateful to be with you on this day. This is a very exciting platform by which we are sharing our message. We are hoping that whomever may hear this message remembers deeply the truth of who you are. For dear ones, you are of source. You are of the love and the light of the all that is. That is the very truth of the fiber of your being. Now, we have been in density and we are acutely aware of whatever matrix, whatever consciousness you are dealing with on your planet. It's why we constantly invite you out into nature. At the very least, should you not choose to meditate in any traditional sort of the word or the sense of meditation, this is quite fine. Nature is where you will find harmony and balance, dear ones. You will not find it looking around in humanity. Humanity is navigating consciousness from many different fields of connection, meaning some people are very tuned into fear, perhaps your news, your media outlets. There are others that are very tuned into perhaps substances. They are not wishing to participate in reality, and so they have found every way to leave reality through perhaps alcohol or other kinds of ways. We are not in judgment of any of the choices that all humanity is making. We are simply observing that there are many ways to participate in your life. What we recommend on a regular basis is finding your way into nature, into the place where unconditional love reigns freely. There is no tree looking at a flower telling her to change the color of her petals. There is no grasshopper talking to another grasshopper, insulting them. There is none of this, dear ones. There is a harmonic resonance. There is a love that reigns and rolls freely through every blade of grass, through every leaf of every bush of every tree. And so we invite you into these places where you can simply slow down, perhaps walk barefoot. If you cannot walk barefoot, at the very least, give yourself space to sit down, to feel the energies of what the beings around you are offering you. And we share this with you because many people are still not yet aware. Every living creature on your planet is a part of source consciousness. Many of you have made fun of what you might call tree huggers. And in fact, the trees will communicate with you should you sit with them. Gaia herself, the earth, will communicate if you sit with her. The birds, all the kingdoms of Gaia, crystal, mineral, plant, animal, everything will communicate with you when you are sitting in your heart space and allowing your mind, your central nervous system, rest, dear ones. Your lifestyles through your matrix have got you on the go, 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 go. This is not good for your adrenals. We're sure you already know this, for many of you are ingesting many different kinds of caffeine. Again, on this, we pass no judgment. We simply wish for you to be aware. Are you living the life that feels most aligned for you? And yes, of course, we are aware. In your third dimension, you have bills to pay, a roof to maintain over your head, families to take care of, and life costs. And we are asking you, how much is your life costing you? These are all seeds we're planting. We're not telling you your life is wrong or bad. We don't need you to leave where you are and suddenly find yourself in another country living a whole other lifestyle. This is not perhaps practical for many of you. And we wish for you to know there is a way to live your life and feel fulfilled, even if you stay in your current occupation or vocation, even if you stay exactly in your partnership, your household, your family, whatever it is. Even though these things in this moment might be the cause, or your belief that they are the cause of your grief or your frustration or things that are not feeling aligned for you, oftentimes you can stay where you are and start to expand, at the very least, the beginning of your journey. But oftentimes you're in those places and spaces because your light, dear one, is greatly needed. This one who is holding the channel for our voice has worked with many people in amazing places, including NASA, actual rocket scientists holding the light, and also doing what may seem like mundane work. You do not have to only be spiritual to live in this world. In fact, being grounded in your bodies is also quite important. The more grounded you are, the more present you are, the more light that you can hold, dear ones. If you're holding lots of light and it's only from the heart chakra up, perhaps you are leaving your keys in places you can't find them. Perhaps you are making choices that are not as good for yourself, but you're not standing still long enough with the decision that you're making a split decision, and perhaps maybe you regret this decision and create a classroom for yourself. Either way, all that we wish for you to know is that you are this beautiful, beautiful diamond. And yes, dear ones, part of your diamond is still coal, and coals become diamonds under extreme amounts of pressure. And this is what you are experiencing on your planet at this time. The most important thing for you to remember is that you're not alone, that you have teams of light of all different kinds of beings that are always walking with you, whether they be your ancestors, whether they be angelic ones, ascended ones, galactic ones. It matters not. All of Gaia is in tune with you, looking to work with you and through you. You are the conduit, dear ones, for heaven on earth. We assure you, heaven is not actually a place. It is a consciousness. You may experience it as a place so that your mind can understand what it's experiencing. Regardless, you can anchor heaven on earth in any moment, at any time, by simply choosing to be the vessel for the highest light, for the highest timelines, for the highest potential. We want you to know that each and every one of you is incredibly special and an important part of the journey on Gaia. Otherwise, you would not be here, would you, dear ones? So we hope that our love, our message inspires you. We hope to be speaking with you again in the near future. We are very grateful for our time with you. We see you, we remember you, we love you, and we thank you. Well, I hope that was an inspiring message for all of you. I am still feeling the Omra collective very, very close in my field as they are starting to actually dissipate and step away. I thank you all so much for being here with me today. I hope the information was inspiring for you. Again, if you have any questions, if you'd like to work one-on-one, I do mentorship, which is actually the steak and potatoes mostly of the work that I do. But I do all kinds of fun things, including Galactic Akashic readings. I'm actually teaching a Galactic Akashic course to teach you how to do those readings or help you remember how to facilitate. And it is my honor to be holding this podcast. I'm so grateful for all the fun people that I get to connect with, and of course, connecting with all of you. So I'm sending you lots of love again from Mount Shasta, California. This is Aurora Luna Star and the Up Vibe podcast. Thank you all so much for being here. Sending you lots of love. Bye for now.
These times can feel heavy, like the world forgot how to hold us. But in the red rocks of Sedona, something is growing, a place to be exactly who you are, to dance, to heal, to be held. We're not waiting for a better world. We're building it. Together. This is Humankind. Come home.